Yeah. I just went live right now. 1:24. Maybe I'll cut
What's
that
up, everybody?
first 1 minute and 24 seconds out. 1:24 of the.
People ought to be used to us not saying anything important for large periods of time right now if they're listening to this.
Okay, then I need.
So how you guys doing? Doing good?
Good.
Anything good happen to you this week?
Let's see. Just a good week spending it with the family and watching movies, doing this and that.
Yeah.
Just
What
family time is a good time.
What movie are they on right now?
Turning Red is the new Disney movie. Just came out. It's about teenage puberty for girls.
It's a little more mature for my son. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Agreed. But my girls loved it.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, my son's on Encanto. So,
Encanto is
Yeah.
I didn't really care for that movie.
well, people don't really care for you.
Yeah, well,
No, why not?
I just didn't think there was really any like catchy songs.
That's funny that you say that because I've heard that one of the I don't know which song, but I've heard that one of the songs is on the radio all the time right now. Which one is it?
You can't talk. We don't talk about Bruno.
Really, that's the one.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I would not have guessed that was the one.
No, that is.
And it's not catchy
song.
at all. It's so weird.
That's
Oh my
funny.
God,
There's 3 other songs I probably would have guessed before that one.
I took my kids to the playground
I
the other
thought
day,
it's a great movie.
and there was like a group of kids singing the song, just offhand, just a cappella singing the song, just because. Like that is how popular that song is, man. Like kids have that shit memorized.
Oh, I do too. I watch it every day with my son.
How old is he again?
He's 15 months.
15 months.
Yeah, it's the first thing that he actually just like would sit down and lock onto for like longer than a half hour.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's fun. It's fun to watch him do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Prop him up and let him go. Oh, actually, no. Wait, he's way beyond the prop age.
No, he's
running around.
No, seriously. At this point, it slows him down, like because he's all over the place.
Oh, I bet.
doing all kinds of stuff. He's a mile a minute kid. He's fun. He's a lot of fun.
Jumping off the couch yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's he hasn't gotten brave enough to go head first yet, but he's gotten comfortable enough with the edges of surfaces that he knows to turn around and just like put his feet down, and so he can get down. He's pretty quickly up and down off the couch and climbing on coffee tables and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I sent you that link.
Perfect.
Cool. Thank you. I don't know who poured it, but
I
thanks.
did. I got you, man. You're producing.
Delicious. So, welcome everybody to the show. It's been a couple weeks. We had some busy things real quick. So, what we're drinking tonight is, let me see the bottle real quick. So you guys know what to drink with us. We are drinking Woodford Reserve Distiller Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And we are putting it under smoke. We're smoking it.
We're smoking the shit out this bitch.
Smoking it. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to smoke that up maybe a couple more times, once or twice more. And then we're going to get ready to start drinking that. Brian's looking for his shot glass.
I'm looking for anything a little smaller here.
His signature shot glass.
It's not up there. I told him.
I got to start yelling at a kid then if it's not.
Yeah, where is that thing? What are they doing with it? Are they running experiments?
No, they're currently like kind of switching roles around the house. So my youngest kind of took over the dishes and stuff like that. So his method is a slightly different than Donnie's method typically. So things aren't going back typically where they normally would go back. And we're still kind of adjusting to that. So lots of crazy movements the past couple of weeks. Every day that we got some more crazy stories going on.
It's all day. All day. It's not just every day. It's all day, every day right now. because like we're talking about it in our group chat all the time. I'm sending you guys all kinds of little screenshots and stuff like that. The players going wherever they're going, and just since the last time that I sent one, or we sent them back and forth this afternoon, there was probably 3 more important updates that happened. Like the Steelers got Miles Jack.
Yep.
The Cowboys signed James Washington.
I saw that.
But the news of the day is obviously the Deshaun Watson trade. Yeah, that's
in my division.
I can't wait to see what that offense is going to do. That's insane. That is insane.
Now, did they give up too much?
So I haven't seen the details of the trade. So why don't you enlighten everybody if you know what the details are?
I've been working, so I just kind of what I've seen, like when I could glance at the TV, but it looks like 3 first-round picks and then some. Plus, they made him what was it, $250 million over
the money. I don't think
many
matters.
Years.
The money is whatever. If they're gonna have him for 5 years, he's gonna end up being a value.
I don't know, man.
At the end of 5 years, he's not even going to make it to the end of the 5 years, because if he plays well, he's going to get to the end of year 3 and be like, well, I'm worth $60 million now, because that's where the new new number is.
I don't know. I'm sad to see Watson in my division. I mean, obviously,
you should be Watson and Cooper.
I am.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just
also,
Deshaun Watson. He's not just going there to throw to Peoples Jones.
I feel very strongly this is going to take the Browns down, though, too. I mean, they'll have a year or two.
Why do you say that?
Because they're giving up 3
based on what?
First-round picks, plus they're paying.
Hey, tell them about how that works
too
out.
Much money.
How does that work out? How many?
Fuck them picks.
Yeah, and like say, ask him in 2 years, ask him in 3 years. We'll see. You know what I mean?
But they've been doing it for a while.
We've been doing that for a while.
We talked about that. We talked about this.
Our last first round pick was Goff,
either.
I think.
Yeah, and he's the last first round picks aren't even on the team, and that's why they were like, "Fuck this."
Right.
No, so we'll let somebody else fuck up with the picks, and we'll get somebody good.
I'm
for sure.
very
It's a different
curious
method,
to see
for sure.
what they look like next year and the year after. You know what I mean? And if they keep it up, then I'm just impressive, man. But I don't know. I'll be surprised if they can keep it up. And
I don't know. So what it is to me is it's interesting, because it's a method of team building that was always really successful for me when I was playing, Madden football back in the day. Because after your team starts to get good, and your picks are always in the last 5, picks of the 5 or 6 picks of the round, the fact that it is a first round draft pick becomes worth so much more than the actual draft pick itself. And you can and if you do a good job identifying talent, which once you learn how to do that in all the games, you get to be good at it, and you figure out how to get the guy who should have been drafted in the first round in the 6th round and stuff like that, because it does happen in the video games, and it seems to be happening in real life. Like these guys are just
rarely, but it happens.
These guys are getting really good at drafting guys that fit their schemes.
Sean McVay is just playing Madden. That's how he's doing his roster.
Him and Shanahan, him and Shanahan both. It kind of feels like that, because they just pluck these guys out of nowhere, and not nowhere, but people forget that Debo's a 2nd round pick,
Right.
But
now you look at him, it should have been a 1st, but still, that's not that far off, is it? I mean, especially for a wide receiver, a 2nd round wide receiver is supposed to be good.
Yeah, that was just me plucking somebody out of the air, right. But like he does it with 6th round running backs every year. Like Elijah Mitchell was a 6th rounder, I think, right?
Yeah, but
offensive rookie of the year, right?
But was
that true or no? In the NFC, was he the offensive rookie of the year in the NFC?
I don't think so, but honestly,
who would it have been?
I don't know. Let's see. Wait, offense. Well, normally I'd say it's a quarterback, but the quarterback class did not do well this year.
And most of them were in the AFC. The ones that played.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, no,
that's AFC. Yeah, okay. He was getting very specific. That's why I was like,
Jamar Chase again.
Okay, so I thought that they gave it to both sides.
Okay,
I was pretty sure that they gave anyway.
It doesn't seem so.
I know who the defensive rookie of the year is.
Enlighten us.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
It was Micah.
I feel like what his approach kind of is trying to pick up those veterans and with whatever they got left in the tank, and he doesn't have to pay too much for him.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
like Von Miller for $20 million a year.
Yeah, see,
Wow.
and I think we picked him up for like $700,000 or something stupid like that.
I don't know what you guys paid of his deal, but it wasn't very much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then how much is a rookie contract? $250 minimum, I think, or something
what are
like
you talking
that.
about? It depends on what pick it is.
Yeah, right. The first round's so much, and the second round is so much and so much. So I mean, is it really that much far from paying a draft pick? Whether
Well,
paying
the Rams won a Super Bowl, so
paying a veteran instead.
what's the Super Bowl victory worth? How long does that shine?
Yeah,
I guess you have to ask Eagles fans.
2 years.
Well, and the thing about the draft is you can get a star and be able to underpay him for 4 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing about those rookies. Whereas the vets, you kind of have to overpay them a little bit now in today's NFL. I mean, look at some of the wide receiver money that went around.
Juju went for $11 million.
Dude, I love Juju, but $11 million?
$11 million
Holy
surprised
shit.
the shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cedric Wilson went for like
what did Gage go for?
8.5.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah. So I didn't see Gage's numbers.
Christian
disclosed.
Kirk.
No, that one was weird.
That was the bad one to me.
That was a weird one.
Yeah.
Dude, the Jags spent all
So
this
what about-
money, and I'm looking at their players going, and got who?
So what about Allen Robinson?
We'll
And now
see.
Robert Woods is on the trade block.
We'll see.
That one surprised me.
That one surprised me as well.
Like I said, I thought they were happy with Woods, but I guess not.
Well, I mean, he's
I
an
actually-
injured player, and
I thought it was an amazing deal for Woods because $15 million a year. He got $30 million guaranteed. Like I just didn't see him getting more than a 1 year deal. I really thought he was going to go somewhere on a 1 year like prove it deal. Like he was going to like go to a playoff contender and make sure he was was in playoff games and like.
So
try
what
and
was
make a
that like?
contract.
Is that like a McVay going? You would be way much better with a quarterback that can throw to you. Hey, come over to our team, kind of thing. Because he does. To me, I mean, if he's a good receiver, but it didn't seem like he was really shining over there. In the
It's
Bears,
weird
Bears.
that they would immediately announce that they were putting Robert Woods up, on the block. It says more about what they feel about Robert Woods' future, I think, than what they actually think about Allen Robinson.
because
Because they're ultimately paying
I
Robert
like-
Woods less
I think-
than they're going to pay Robert Woods. So once they move Robert Woods, they save money in salary ultimately. Because Robert Woods was on him and Cooper Kupp signed very similar deals, if I remember correctly.
I like Robert Woods, but not as much as the normal Ram fan. It was kind of like the Gurley thing. I didn't care for Gurley at all. I was always kind of on the fence with him. And Woods, he catch the ball, but I don't know. Maybe I sound crazy, but I was never like, whoa, that guy is just out there shining bright,
And he wasn't. But as if he's the true number one, you're in trouble. But if he's the 1A or the 1B or even the wide receiver 2, Woods is great. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. And honestly, I would equate Woods and Robinson. In my head, I had them as a,
So from what
they're
it seems,
different receivers, but
very
similar
different
value.
receivers. Allen Robinson
is
is still a possession receiver,
Right.
I guess, which is
what they want.
Which is what Robert Woods is, but Robert Woods is also more of a Swiss Army knife because he's also able to do things like carry end arounds.
He was a gadget. He was a little bit more gadget.
Yeah, he seemed much more flexible of a player than Allen Robinson. So maybe they're seeing something in his recovery, and they don't like it. I don't know. I have no idea, but I thought it was odd because I just I can't think of too many fantasy analysts who would have put Allen Robinson above Robert Woods, and.
Well, we want to
Assuming Robert Woods was
just
going to come back with the Rams next year in his role that he had, in the previous few seasons, wherever Allen Robinson landed, I'm pretty sure you still would have ranked Robert Woods higher. So I don't know what that's it's strange to me.
I don't know.
And they're about the same age.
Allen Robinson is one of those wide receivers that has just been unlucky. Like, seriously, look at his quarterbacks over the years. Every time.
And that's what I was wondering. Like, is this one of those things when McVay's like, you just had a shit quarterbacks come over here?
I really think that is. Like, Allen Robinson, to me, he's a more talented overall receiver than Woods. But
we're going to find out.
Yeah, and very true. And like I say, the Rams agree, obviously, but
he's like if Allen Robinson was 25, I would be more, about that. But he's going to be 29.
29
when the season starts, I'm pretty sure.
That's still a year younger than I thought he was.
What's OBJ?
Also 29.
What's the deal with OBJ right now? Like, what's the news?
He's supposed to. So it's funny. We made the bet last week, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, and it was OBJ versus.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
I love it.
Versus Allen Robinson. Yeah. Oh, that's
I feel
so
pretty
bad.
good about that.
Oh
so
my
I
goodness!
feel pretty good
so
about
bad.
that.
Yeah. So now I need Robinson to get hurt. Yeah, fuck that guy. But that is hilarious. Yeah. So yeah, and I think at the time, yeah, we didn't know when OBJ was going to be back, and he's also not going to be back until like late October, early November, or something like that. So yeah, it doesn't look good for me.
Well, I mean, I thought I mentioned that, hey, it's going to be a while. And then I thought we started arguing about like technology and the recovery time and stuff like that is quicker. Maybe not. Maybe I was arguing with somebody else about that.
We didn't really talk too much about it, but we talked about the length of the injury, and I said that it was like 6 months, a 6-month injury. And so it's going to be a little longer.
What do you guys think was the craziest quarterback move during this so far?
The craziest one, or the one that's going to be
the one that caught you with your pants down?
Caught him. Well, Steelers fan over here he's got to speak up.
He was saying surprised.
Yeah, you're not surprised?
No, not at all.
Okay.
What do you mean?
So
You
got the best value on the market.
Did you see the other guy you signed?
Which one? A quarterback? I did not see that we signed a second quarterback. Who else was it?
Back.
Who?
Haskins.
Oh, okay. That doesn't surprise me.
He's going to start this year.
So those of you guys don't know what we're talking
Dwayne
about.
He's going to come back.
Yeah, so we'll probably run three quarterbacks again this year.
We're talking about the Steelers, and we're talking about Mitch Trubisky, right? That's
yes,
what
yes.
We didn't clarify what we were
not.
talking about.
Mitchell Trubisky to the Steelers is, oh, man.
Honestly, I feel pretty good about it. Like, we weren't going to pay up. It's funny that Watson was like, oh, I wanted to play for the Steelers when we said no. But that doesn't surprise me at all, because we're not going to play for a problem, or we're not going to get a problem child. You know what I mean? We don't do that. So I knew we weren't going after Watson. Rodgers I figured was a no-go. Wilson was my only, hope and a dream, but I knew that wasn't going to happen.
And then got Jameis.
And then after that, what? Again, we'd have to trade for Jameis.
No, he's a free agent.
Is he a free agent? Well,
he's
still.
a free agent.
I'd rather have Mitch Trubisky.
No, you wouldn't.
Dude.
Nobody would rather have Mitch Trubisky than Jameis Winston. That's a lie.
No.
It's a lie you tell yourself.
No,
so you don't
Trubisky
cry yourself
will
to
hold
sleep.
on to the football, and that's what
That
we
is
want.
not true.
That's what
He
we
has
need.
proven that he will not hold on to the football.
Over Jameis Winston?
Jameis is going to put up touchdowns, dude. Mitch is just going to throw the ball to the other guy.
Yeah,
He's
he'll
not
have a
gonna
2-to-1 ratio, interceptions to touchdowns.
It's even. He's 1-to-1. Jameis is 1-to-1. He's the 30.
Yes, that's good, right?
He's the 30
That's
and 30
good,
guy.
Right? Yeah.
He's the first 30-30 guy.
Yeah, that would not work on the Steelers, no. And no, we're set up to have a running quarterback. That's what our owner and organization wants. And so we brought in Mitch Trubisky. We're probably gonna either draft somebody this year or next year to replace him, bring in a rookie. But dude, I feel good about where we are. I think we make the playoffs again, and who knows? Maybe we're good enough to make a run.
I think
It sounds like he said two different things to me.
I think
it sounds like he said we're going to replace him in 2 years, and then he said I feel good about where we are. So if you're planning to replace
both
your
be true?
No, I don't.
No,
That's my point.
I think Mitch Trubisky is a journeyman quarterback that's going to do okay.
I think
that's what we need.
The way I took that was he knows he's in a rebuild mode right now, so Mitch Trubisky is going to get him through rebuild mode, and he's okay with that.
And we're going to rebuild in the playoffs. So there you go.
You guys should have signed Andy Dalton.
For what? To be ball boy?
I mean, he's better than Mitch Trubisky.
No, that is not what our team wants to do, bro.
What's the difference?
Mitch Trubisky.
What's the difference? Well, like, why not?
Quarterback.
Why? So, what do you mean? How is your team set
We
up
need
for
a
a running?
running
How is your team set up for a running quarterback? You've had Big Ben for the last 20 years.
I know. And
How are they set up for a running quarterback? Please explain that.
I should say they are setting up for.
How?
Look at their moves. Look at their moves. The
go
guards.
ahead.
They brought in 2 guards. We brought in 2 big defensive players, Miles Jack and a cornerback and somebody else. But I wanted to look at all that before I came over here, but I did not have time. But that's what we're gearing up to do. And honestly, our offensive line, because we're one of the youngest in the league now, with all the changes that we've made, we need somebody that can get out of the pocket, and that's what Mitch Trubisky does. I think he's going to do well. We're going to have we've got a good defense that's improved now. Why are you giving me this side eye, man? Like, seriously, tell me what are you seeing then with all these moves here? Like, what do you see the Steelers' record next year?
I see a team that believes Mitch Trubisky is better than he is. That's what I see.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
Look what we paid him. Look what we paid him. We know what we got.
No, but if you really think that about your team, that you have all these growing areas, then why would you waste any time with Mitchell Trubisky? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why wouldn't you go harder after one of these quarterbacks that could win now? Or
No, we don't do that. But
I don't. Well,
that's not the Steelers' philosophy, and I think that the Steelers' philosophy has worked pretty well over the last 30, 40 years. So I'm willing to stick with it. I'm willing to trust their methods, and we don't go for the big splash. We don't give up multiple first round picks for anybody. We just don't. So those guys were non-starters to me. So Mitch Trubisky,
I'm not saying he should have traded for Russ.
Cool. Let's see what he does. Like, he cost us nothing. You know what I mean? If he completely sucks, then we move on next year. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I think I'm happy with the choices that we had. I'm happy with where we came out.
Cool.
My lid rolled over by you. Did you see it? For the wood chips. By your chair, left or right of your chair.
So, do you want to take the Pittsburgh makes the playoffs bet?
Oh, you're betting on them to make the playoffs?
I just said it like 3 times during my little monologue there.
Yeah, he said.
Like, I was itching for you guys to bet me on it.
I
Please.
You said they were going to do the rebuild in the playoffs. I heard you.
Yeah, he did say that. I'll take that one.
All right. Can we put a Bowmar on that one?
No, I'm already giving you one.
Jeez. All right. I'm putting that one on the board, though.
Yeah. You guys are going to finish.
Ray, you too?
You guys are going to finish 4th.
Nah, I think I know what you're talking about.
You guys are going to finish 4th.
4th and what?
Like, you're going to be the only team not to make the playoffs.
Oh,
in the division.
Steelers are going to.
I really don't think so.
Nah,
but that is a possibility.
There's the Browns in there.
Strong possibility.
No, I think the Ravens are on the way down.
The Ravens picked up Zadarius Smith. I really like that move.
So Mitch Trubisky was the wildest
pass
quarterback.
rusher
Like,
from
that's
the
the wildest one. I didn't think that was very wild. I think that was like my opinion on.
It
Mitch
wasn't
Trubisky.
Wild at all. No.
Well,
it was.
He
dumb.
didn't mention that it was wild. I didn't mention it was wild.
No, it wasn't. It's not at all a splash move, and
didn't necessarily have to be splash, but that was a mediocre quarterback for a mediocre team. So, like, that wasn't.
Ooh, that's rough.
That wasn't like
that's rough.
Splash or
I
nothing.
didn't say that. See, that's what that was my problem with it. Is I don't think that they're necessarily a mediocre team. I think that they're a team that actually has pieces that are set up to win in the next 2 to 3 years. And so I don't understand why you would want to give one of them up on Mitchell Trubisky. That isn't like, let somebody else do that.
What other quarterback moves were there? Russell Wilson. I think everybody expected Russell Wilson to move soon at some point.
They weren't going to make that deal. Like, it's just not what they do. It was really out of character when they traded a first-round pick to pick up Minka Fitzpatrick. That was surprising.
Right.
That was kind of like an about time move. The Russell Wilson move was like, okay, finally it happened. I honestly, maybe the Packers keeping Aaron Rodgers and giving him
I don't
that
know.
contract was a weird wild quarterback.
You probably could have got Kirk Cousins from Minnesota.
Like I said, not the direction the team's going, man. Like
Kirk
They
Cousins,
want to
like,
see. They want
Kirk
to.
Cousins gives you a much better chance to win than Mitch Trubisky does.
If we're going with what you're saying here, and the Steelers are trying to flirt with the idea of a running quarterback in their scheme, then why would you go Kirk Cousins?
Oh,
Just-
that's not what I see.
So I think with
But the team has
Ken
announced
here
that.
is Ken here is just looking at the win column,
Right.
not looking at the scheme column.
That
Scheme,
sounds like
that's it.
something that they'd say based on like things that they've dealt with. You know, when you look at what Josh Allen does, and when you look at Lamar Jackson does, you look at Mahomes does, and they're able to beat you scrambling, and then you've got your.
I think running is overrated.
Yeah, exactly. I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
No, see, I think we're going to go to. I mean, old school Steelers football is what I think that what we're looking to do for the next few
old
years.
school
is
Steelers football is you
kick-ass
got to have a
defense.
quarterback who can throw the ball 60 yards downfield accurately, like Bradshaw did.
Brad, I hate that guy.
Old school Steelers
I
football.
hate that he's our 4-time Super Bowl quarterback.
Why?
My God,
He was
he
good.
bugs me, man.
He was good.
And
You see him as a lughead, is that why?
I just,
Dude, I've watched the games. He was good.
no, I'm just saying you see him on TV nowadays.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's just
He's
like,
from Louisiana and he doesn't hide it. He never left. His heart never left.
he feels so dumb. It's just, but maybe I'm wrong.
He must not be dumb. He's got a bunch of money. He's giving it away. Win Terry's money is money.
Win Ben Stein's money.
Yeah, it's all ridiculous.
But that Aaron Rodgers contract kind of makes me feel like they're not trying to win.
You know, one of the last things that I saw before I came over here was this hilarious little meme, and it was Aaron Rodgers laying on the piece of wood from Titanic, and with that that image of his face when he got sacked in San Francisco or whatever it was. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The crazy one.
Yeah.
And Davante Adams is in the water. And he's like, and Aaron Rodgers got a pile of money behind him. And he's like, I'm sorry, Davante, there's not enough room.
It's funny because it's true.
Well, I mean, it's not though.
No?
It's not really, because while Aaron Rodgers himself is making more money, his cap number was reduced from $44 million to $28 million. So, like him getting the deal, he saved the team money this year in cap space. So it's not actually true, but it is funny because Aaron Rodgers is getting much more money in Green Bay.
Well,
and Davante
it's
Adams
true.
but apparently Davante Adams didn't want to be there, and he wanted to be in Vegas. He wants to go play for the Raiders. So that's crazy. But good for him.
Yeah. But he would have signed a deal last year. You know what I'm saying? The Packers jerked him around all year long, and I think that stuck in his craw.
You know what I forget? He's former teammates with Derek Carr. They played in Fresno State together.
Yeah, they said they wanted to play together.
Yes, I forget about that.
Yeah, but still, because they jerked him around all last year, that's why they don't have him.
You're talking
They
about
could've-
Davante?
No, yeah, Davante.
Yeah, they could've-
they could
even-
have signed him last year.
Even this year, they could have signed him. But
And
they signed Aaron Rodgers, and then they announced that they were putting the franchise tag on Davante Adams.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys.
Exactly. I think it was more of a fuck
Like
you
he
move
announced
than
that he
anything else.
immediately announced that he wouldn't play in 2022 under the franchise
Right.
tag. No, I'll take the year off. It's cool.
And I think he would have done it too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, he sounded pissed.
Yeah, it's funny stuff. So yeah, I don't. I almost want to take Green Bay off my, my top 5 there.
Weren't we allowing amendments to that?
Absolutely.
Weren't we?
This was supposed to be way early, and then that way we can look at it at the end of summer and go, God, we were dumb back then.
Not Ray. He got the Las Vegas Raiders on his long shot to make the playoff list.
Is that what that? Because I see 2 lists. I can't remember exactly what we did. Oh, AFC and NFC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
it was sleeper teams to make the playoffs, I think, is what the asterisks are, because I know that I picked Falcons and the Jets.
Alrighty. So I think I'm Yeah, I think you don't want Packers at number 2. Saints, I probably would take off 2 now.
So yeah. Well, the Saints are going to get Jameis back.
Yeah, but they're not going to have
makes
that
sense.
coach.
He's going to end up going back there. They have to figure out all their other stuff with their cap before they actually sign him.
Yeah, they've got a lot to figure out.
But they have, and the Saints are going to be better than people think, because they got a lot of continuity. Like Sean Payton is out of the picture, but they have the same defensive coordinator that they've had for years, and they have the same offensive coordinator that they've had for years, and if they're bringing people back, and they've got if Michael Thomas is coming back, and he's supposedly in beast mode now, so.
Well, I have him in my dynasty league, so I hope you're right.
And
but
Alvin
that's
Kamara is
not
gonna.
the feeling I get out of the Saints, man.
Huh?
I feel like the Saints are going the wrong way.
I know that, it's sometimes, but there's times where we feel that about teams, and then they turn it around. It's like there's a lot of narrative that would lead you to believe that the Saints are going to be bad, but then when you look at what's actually happening with their roster, and
Who'd they pick up?
huh?
Who'd they pick up?
Well,
here?
it's not that they just haven't really lost anybody.
Did they pick up anybody in free agent frenzy?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'd have to recheck, but there wasn't any. I know that I looked through all of the free agent moves that teams have made, at about 5 p.m. today, and there wasn't anything I saw from their team that was really noteworthy.
I think I would want to put.
They have a really, really, really good defense. And the only reason they were not a playoff team last year is because Jameis blew out his knee. In the first 5 games of the year, he had 2 incredible games.
And losing Sean Payton, you don't think that's going to be that big a deal?
Like I said, they're keeping the same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator. It's the defensive coordinator who got promoted to the head coaching position. Dennis Allen. He's been a head coach before, so this is his second chance. And his first chance didn't go so well, but it was in Oakland, so that's not really, I'm not going to hold that against him. So I think there's a lot of people in that organization who are going to have a chip on their shoulder next year, with a bunch of people counting them out. And they beat Tom Brady twice last year.
Okay.
Shut him out once.
All right.
So
I think I want to change Packers.
I wouldn't bury them yet.
And Saints to
the Packers.
Tampa
I'm
Bay
ready
and
to start
Minnesota.
throwing dirt on though, because Bears Nation. No, I think the Vikings are going to win that division next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what makes you say that?
They kept Kirk Cousins.
Improving?
Can you put next to Packers? Can you put MN small? Because I know we might change this a lot throughout but put MN next to my Packers and put TB next to my Saints. I'm gonna change my answer on those two. Since Tom Brady came back.
Ooh, what is this one? This one's not nearly as sweet.
Yeah. It looks blacker, huh? I think that might have been what you brought.
You brought wine?
He brought it one last time.
The box wine?
Yeah. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called Black something. Minnesota, MN. And then Tampa Bay, TB on the Saints.
TB? Yeah, Tampa Bay automatically jumps back into I can erase Philadelphia and Green Bay, and I'll put Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
You put New Orleans in.
So, you had asked about crazy quarterback. So the
Movement,
NFC got
yeah.
the NFC got dramatically weaker with Russ leaving and Devontae Adams leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a shift there. To me it was Russ. The move, from
Fuck that marker.
from Seattle to Denver. It's obviously reminiscent of Peyton Manning going to Denver, but theoretically Russ has a little more tread on the tires than Peyton did when Peyton went to Denver.
Oh yeah. I think he's got maybe 5 years at least. Russ.
He's 33 right now, but he's also 5'11".
Yeah, he's got to get hit really hard.
5'10". So
Is that what you're saying? One good solid hit, he's Dunsky?
Yeah, we'll see. Like, I mean, Drew Brees played until he was 40.
Oh, that's not a bad move either. You put Denver in contention.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Jumped right up there.
That AFC West is going to be so much fun.
I might
So
have to
much
take the
fun.
Steelers off and
Every
put Denver
game.
on.
The Steelers
Yeah.
shouldn't be on your list.
Yeah, they're there. I'm thinking taking them off and putting Denver on.
I mean, good thing we bet on that.
Come on, they're terrible.
So you want to put
Are you going to get a
Denver up?
Trubisky jersey?
We'll see. Probably not, but it's possible.
I think I want to change Steelers to Denver, and then my long shot for the NFC be Packers. I didn't pick one. So
You're going to give the long. That's not a good long shot. Like, it's got to be a team that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was what it was, huh? A team that didn't make the playoffs last year. Yeah, okay. Probably should write that down somewhere.
But the Raiders made the playoffs too, so that's not a good one either.
It doesn't feel like it though.
They lost to the Super Bowl champs, dude. What do you mean? What do you want from them? They got. They're not champs.
Did the Raiders
Super
make the
Bowl?
They were part of that
They
weird.
lost to the Bengals.
They were part of that weird, like,
There was some
thing that
controversy at the end of the game.
yeah.
I actually can't remember what it was because it just kind of like died off pretty quickly, and I didn't see it live.
Long shot. NFC. I'll think about that still.
So what do we think about Russ in Denver? Like that warrants a little conversation there. Like what happens to all those weapons around there?
They all gonna get puffed up in
and
draft.
Melvin
status.
Gordon, did he?
No, he went to
Where-
Arizona.
Oh, no, he did go to Arizona.
Him and James Conner. They brought back James Conner as well.
Right. I remember seeing that they signed Connor. I didn't think they.
Melvin Gordon got 2 years and like $11 million, and James Conner got 3 years and $21 million or something like that.
Gordon's the better running back.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, let me ask this: do we feel like Denver is a better ran franchise than Seattle?
History would say so.
I want to say it is. I want to say that I think it is.
And I think,
History would say so. Yes, they've kind of whiffed on quarterbacks the last like handful of years since Peyton left.
Well, that's because they were trying to draft. No,
But their roster has been
it seems like that's been their priority.
They've been looked at as like a quarterback away team for the last like 5 years.
Right. And maybe that's their strategy is to stay that way, is to be this
It's definitely
quarterback
not.
ready team, and then get this veteran quarterback or whatever. Work with Peyton Manning, and now it might work with Russell Wilson.
It doesn't seem like it because they
It
gave up
might
capital.
be an accidental
They gave
strategy,
up
but
they gave up draft capital to get Drew Lock. They they traded up to get Drew Lock, if I remember correctly. No, it wasn't Lock. It was he was the second one that they failed on. Paxton. Remember
Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they traded up to get Paxton Lynch.
is he in the league?
I do not believe so.
don't
I
think
believe
so.
he turned out to not be a real quarterback.
I think Russ is going to go over there and shake things up on the AFC. I think he's going to start throwing some
We'll see.
teams some real fits over there.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting. 'Cause
Russ
he now
is
has-
one of those guys like you want to get 3 scores ahead
This
of that.
to
Fucking
me,
dude.
this is like this is a put up or shut up year for Russ. And I said before that he was my favorite quarterback to draft, coming up, because I knew the value was going to be good. I don't think it's there now. I think Russ is going to be more expensive than you want to pay in draft capital, and I think all of the Denver weapons, or in general, are going to be more expensive than you want to pay in draft capital. That's the fantasy effect. Of
And
it,
I completely agree with that on Wilson. I think what's his name, the rookie there, is going to be amazing. My God.
Javonte Williams.
Yes,
Yeah, Javonte Williams. They didn't bring in any other running back,
that's what I'm saying. That
so
kid's
they're going to draft. So
great.
they're going to draft somebody to.
But they're going to draft some, little scat back or whatever to help them out.
Well, that's what Javonte Williams was last year as far as draft capital is concerned. They drafted him late in the second round.
Yeah.
So, or actually mid. I think it's mid second round. He might have been later than that. I don't know exactly where they got him, but it wasn't first day.
So Javonte Williams, top 7-ish, 8-ish,
Yeah,
running back.
top 8 for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I mean, that bumps him up.
and that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to pay for somebody who's never done it before. That's like, but I mean, that was also everybody who was in on Jonathan Taylor last year. And where did Taylor go? Like, where did he actually go last year? Like 10, something like that, maybe.
He was around that range. He was like mid-second rounder, if I remember.
So, well, I mean, overall, like I think 10 over. Like I think he was like at the end of the first round this year.
This year?
I'm pretty sure because they knew. Everybody knew Marlon Mack was gone, and they didn't have anybody else to. The only other running back on the team was Hines.
Is he one of those turn guys? Yeah, maybe he was the end of the first.
I'm pretty sure we'd have to like double check that the ADP from last year for Taylor, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around 10. So I expected that, and it was the same thing.
I remember thinking it was too high personally, so I didn't have any piece of it.
Yeah, and me too. I was the same way. I was like, I want to see. I'm not that big on Jonathan Taylor based on what I saw from his rookie year. I know people talk about him. He had like an explosive combine, and people are big on running backs with strong grips apparently, and he's got a bone breaking grip that reminded people of Adrian Peterson, which is why people are so big on him.
All right,
or I should say one of the reasons people are so big on him. But
Adrian Peterson holding onto the football is not like one of his greatest.
He was just
aspects,
he's just really strong. It was. But I mean, he used that same grip to grab guy. I'll never forget that opening day where he plowed through like three Browns defenders and ran on an 80-yard touchdown run or something like that. And one of them was just like grabbing a guy's face and putting him into the dirt. Like it was savage because he was a savage player.
The Browns are good for highlights,
and yeah, other teams' highlights, and
put on the highlight reel. It's like that dude that always gets knocked out.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe it's right to be in on Javonte Williams. I know that's typically not where I like to be. In the first round, I don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, man, I got Jonathan Taylor at number 9.
Thank you, sir.
That's fine. I'll take Travis Kelce. Or actually, now that I mentioned that,
You don't got a glass?
Yeah. How do we feel
not an
about
empty
Kelce?
Not as strongly as I feel about Darren Waller now.
What do you feel about Waller?
Well, now that he's got Devontae Adams to take some of that coverage away, like I think Darren Waller's my number 1 tight end now.
Really? Huh. I think. I mean,
you swipe that.
I'd have to think about it a little bit, but I mean, I'd put him 4, 5.
There you go. I don't. I'm telling you, man. Like you watch. If you watch their games, the games that Waller was healthy for, once they get inside the 10, that's where they're going with the ball. Was Waller, and it was hard before because he'd have a linebacker and a safety coming down on top of him because they knew that's where they were going with the ball. Now that safety's gonna be locked up on Devontae Adams. Right. You put him on the same side of the field. And Waller it's going to be harder to put a second guy on Waller too, so it could that could be kind of a gamble. But if for me, my first 2 tight ends that I want this year are probably Waller, and then Kyle Pitts.
So we hit that 3 times with smoke.
Definitely get the smoke.
That's nice.
It's different. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I'm deciding if I like that better or worse.
There is a burn at the end of that.
Yeah, it's
it just like lingers like a fire.
Yeah, there was, huh?
That's awesome, actually. That feels great.
So I got some feedback.
It definitely tastes like you roasted it over a fire, man.
Yeah.
That's what it just tastes like a fire.
It tastes like a fire, yes.
So we got some feedback on our last podcast about smoking whiskey, and apparently because on the audio you can't tell that I guess they thought we were smoking whiskey, like a cigarette or something. So what we're doing is we're adding smoke. I chose that was a choice word. We're adding smoke into the whiskey. With a smoker.
We are smoking the shit out of this.
In an Erlenmeyer glass. And we did it 3 times on this particular this particular turn.
I'm just picturing kids out there trying to smoke whiskey. Just
I
putting
know.
it in a glass pipe. This isn't working.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing though. Is it's like it wasn't always clear that we were dealing with alcohol. So we're just talking about smoking stuff,
Oh,
smoking the hell out of it.
And then the thing turns on.
Yeah, it sounds like a vaporizer.
Yeah, we're adding drops to our vapes with whiskey vapes. So, what are some other moves out there that I was like, what?
well, I'm just real quick. We didn't talk about the receivers in Denver, other than you're saying they're going to be overrated, but who and by how much? I mean, what
We're talking
you
about
think-
Courtland Sutton. We're talking about Jerry
Jeudy.
Jeudy, and we're
Tim
talking about Tim Patrick.
Fireball.
Tim Patrick. I think Tim Patrick is the one you want.
Fireball Jones.
Is that what we're calling him? Is that his name?
that's the footballer's name for him.
Or they call him Fireball Jones?
Because Tim Patrick is too boring.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, we need
He's got
to
two first
spice
names.
this up a little bit.
They do that to anybody with two first names. That's funny. Fireball Jones. Yeah, so Fireball Jones is definitely the guy that I would want because I think he's going to be the
because of the value.
Yeah. Because I think he's still going to be good. Because he was the one that was good week in, week out with bad quarterback play. So
He and I have him in my I had him off and on in my dynasty league all last year, and I finally picked him up again right before the deadline this year, so I was very happy about that.
good job.
But he, like, if somebody is hurt, Tim Patrick's your man. Like, he steps up every time. But when
They
he's
traded Noah Fant away.
that's true. That's true. But it feels like when he's the true number 3 receiver in that offense, he's just, I mean, he might have a catch or two, but he's very mediocre. You don't want to be starting him.
It'll be interesting to see what they do at tight end. And if they don't make a splash move, and Albert O is going to be their number 1 tight end.
I'm trying to think. Russell Wilson, who's he had at tight end in the last
Jimmy
5
Graham.
years?
Russ has had a bunch of tight ends that you thought, oh, this is finally Russ is going to have a tight end, and it just didn't work out with Russ for whatever reason.
Right.
It's been really weird, but he's had weapons because he got Jimmy Graham in Jimmy Graham's prime. That's where Jimmy Graham went when he left New Orleans after the.
Wasn't he coming off an injury?
No, it was this fucking scandal that he challenged that when they put the franchise tag on him, that he should have been paid like a wide receiver because they lined him up
Right.
so in such percentage of the plays, as a wide receiver rather than a tight end, and that was like the end of his career in New Orleans. Like he had some, they figured everything out that year contractually. And then he had like an injury-riddled year that year, but he didn't have any like devastating injuries.
Okay.
He had an injury-riddled year, and then they moved on from him. And I'm pretty sure Seattle gave up big draft capital to get him. And so, like, it was a big splash move.
So my point is that Russell Wilson really hasn't had that
He hasn't
connection with the tight end over the years
no,
anyway.
That's
So
my point about
maybe
Tim
having those
Patrick.
3 great
That's
receivers,
my
yeah.
point about Tim Patrick is that I think he's going to fill that Tyler Lockett role that Tyler Lockett used to fill when he was the number 3.
So what do you think about Jeudy and Sutton?
I think they're going to be drafted too high because I don't think you're going to be able to get either one of them past the 5th round.
So where would you want to take Jeudy?
I would have wanted, like, let's just assume that Denver didn't get Russ, right? And they got any of the other quarterbacks.
Okay.
Let's say they got Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay.
I would have wanted Jerry Jeudy in like round 6, and he'd have been the first one that I wanted.
Right. Is Jerry Jeudy the first you want?
I think he's
Like if you have your pick of the 3.
You could pick all 3 of them at the same exact draft position. Yes, Jerry Judy's the one you want.
Okay. And see, I'm thinking he's, I don't know, like on my personal draft board, just spitballing 5th roundish,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
But
I think
he's going to go 4th or 3rd.
I think he's probably going to go higher. I think Jerry Judy's going to be the first Broncos receiver to go, and I think he's
Right.
probably going to go somewhere in the 30s in picks. So you're talking
I'd be
late.
surprised by that.
So you're talking late round 3, early round 4.
Yeah, for the people that really believe, I guess.
You're talking about wide receiver. At that point, you're talking about like wide receiver numbers 12 through 15. So it's not anybody who's like, yeah, Jerry Jeudy's going to be a top 5. It's not that, because in order to be top 5, he'd have to go in the first 2 rounds. First 3.
3, yeah.
First 3. Because you're going to have the first 3 receivers come off in the first 2 rounds, and then you're going to have the next handful of them go in round 3. Round 3 is the big receiver round.
Exactly.
I think he's going to go at the end of round 3 or beginning of round 4.
Okay. And I'll have to,
for reference, that last year, that's where guys like DJ Moore went.
Okay. Which is honestly, I feel about where he should be, I guess. Is he, because, I'm just saying that DJ Moore is a good comp. Like somebody who has the potential but hasn't done it yet. You're not taking him as your number 1, or hopefully you're not, maybe your number 2. But,
people drafted him as their number 2 last year. For sure. DJ Moore was your number 2. If you were in redraft leagues and in snake drafts.
There's the 6-week period where he was just so good too.
He was. Yeah, I felt so stupid when I traded him, and then it was like
I traded him too.
4 weeks later, or something like that. Oh yes, okay, there it is.
I feel great. In a keeper league, I traded him, but I traded him for DK Metcalf.
He was part of my Josh Allen deal.
And now I'm like, DK Metcalf. What do I do with that guy? So what? What do we do with? we need to know what they're doing.
Let's talk about the other side.
Yeah,
let's talk about the Seattle side. So Seattle got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, I think, and then some players. They got Noah Fant was the to me the best player that they got in the deal, and they also got Drew Lock. So woo, yeah. So, Seattle didn't then make another move for a quarterback, so they might be starting Drew Lock. That might happen.
Just making sure those draft picks are good.
That'd be smart. Well, no, I mean it wouldn't like.
I guess
making sure their draft picks are good.
Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't affect.
But just in case Denver's is bad, they're hedging their bets.
Yeah.
And it's likely that Denver's are going to be, the ones they get from Denver are going to be in the low 20s.
Exactly.
So. What's up, dude?
No, I was putting our list on the
so people can see it.
Yeah, so people can see it.
Cool,
I'm gonna save it and.
Yeah, that's excellent because we're gonna have to make room on this dry erase board before too long here.
Yeah, I was kind of noticing that. And I was like, I should probably do something about this. Playoff picks ongoing. Bam, it's done.
So
fantasy wise, Seattle is just in the dirt next year, right? I mean, there's nobody that you're going after.
I think it's the inverse.
Late, but
actually, it's funny just because, like,
Tyler
Lockett and DK Metcalf are 2 very good wide receivers. So, depending on what Seattle does, it's entirely possible that those guys are huge steals in next year's draft. Like DK Metcalf could be like a Stephon Diggs like steal from 2 years ago.
I just can't see DK Metcalf's capital improving next year.
I don't think it's going. That's what I'm saying. They're going to go down.
It's definitely going down. It's just a matter of by how much.
But also, I don't know. Like it's entirely possible that they have great seasons. Because the team's going to be behind.
They're going to win. You mean those receivers?
Yeah. Season? It's entirely possible that they have great years next year. They have comparable years to this year or even better because DK had a terrible year this year.
What were his total numbers? They were kind of...
Very mediocre.
But he still was like 1,100 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns, right?
I think it was like 6 touchdowns. I think he only scored 6 times. So I don't think it's I don't think the bar that they have is necessarily that high that they can't reach it or exceed it. Him and Lockett next year, and they're going to be drafted much lower.
Yeah, I won't be drafting them.
So, if you guys are done talking about that, Can we go into like a Homer segment?
Nobody wants to talk about the Rams.
I do. I want to talk about the Rams.
Specifically
Because
Sit back with my popcorn.
there you go. Shit. Specifically because I was asked one question that kind of stuck with me, and that was the Johnny Hecker, getting rid of Johnny Hecker.
Oh, that was interesting to me.
And so, there's two ways that I feel about it. One, like the loyalty nerve, it struck a loyalty nerve for me. But from a strategic standpoint, we're not punting very much. We haven't been punting very much. I think he got really good because he was with us when we were punting all the time. He got a lot of reps in, and then now we don't utilize him so much. And he was one of the highest paid punters, if not the highest paid. I didn't look into it in the league, and we needed the cap space. So for all you Ram fans out there that listen just for the Ram Homer segments that I do, that's how I feel about it. I mean, there's a loyalty bone, but that's kind of hard when it comes to sports, right? And players are treated as commodity. I think from a strategy standpoint, it was a good move. I think we could kind of just insert any punter in there and kind of be.
Are you saying that you can just punt at punter?
Oh,
I didn't get that.
It was very subtle. Like punt your pick,
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were kidding when you said you didn't get it.
No, I didn't really get it. I was like, what?
Got him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can punt our punter and just get somebody that can kick that ball somewhere within the 20 yards, and I think we'll be fine.
You should try out.
Nah. So yeah, that's how I feel. I know we talked about the Steelers a little bit today, but if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, like I said, I think I basically said my piece. I feel good about the moves we made. I feel like we made more moves than we usually make at this time of year. Mm-hmm. And the ones we did, I feel like we got bargains on everything, from Mitch Trubisky to our cornerback to Miles Jack. Like, mm-hmm. I mean, we got deals on everything and everybody. I'm wondering if having Tomlin as our head coach and then bringing in Flores, you guys know about that, right? Flores from Miami.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah,
Belichick got him a job.
Tomlin got him a job.
Belichick got him a job.
What?
He's saying that Belichick did something to make sure he got hired there.
Oh, Belichick did something?
Yeah, Belichick helped him get a job.
Oh, honestly, when I heard that we had hired him, I was just like, well, that just makes sense. That's just what we do. You know what I mean? We've always been that type of team trying to advance, the social agenda and whatnot, and that's always been kind of a part of who we are.
Oh, that just clicked. Yeah.
No, I was just kidding.
That whole thing.
There was a whole fiasco with.
Oh, are you saying from
tampering and stuff?
Okay, I'm just yeah. See, now you're going over my head. I didn't see where you're going with that, but I don't know. Just bring because we brought him in. What is he? Our assistant linebackers coach or something like that? It's like we made up a position for him.
I'm pretty sure he's the assistant head coach,
and that could be Like I say, we didn't fire anybody. We just brought him in because we wanted to have him as part of our organization. And I think that's going to appeal to certain players and certain vets that really care about that kind of thing. And I think maybe we got a deal on some players that we wouldn't normally get a deal on, or maybe I'm just imagining.
That's the only way.
They could have a real Angels in the outfield situation going on next year.
Steelers Super Bowl champs. You heard it here first. Come on, Mitch.
What about you, Ken? There was some little bit of Dallas drama going on.
As a Cowboys fan, I love this time of year
because there's always something going on with the Cowboys.
Because this is the time of year where everybody reaches up and pays starter money for our reserves. So, like Cedric Wilson went to Miami for less money than we paid James Washington.
Yeah.
Connor Williams went to Miami for I think they paid him $8.5 million a year, and it's like, whew. Bye-bye, 52. Won't miss you a goddamn bit. Oh, my. Thank God. Thank fucking God 52 is gone. And the Dolphins paid him $8.5 million. Ridiculous. This is absolutely absurd. Then Randy Gregory went to Denver for 5 years and $70 million. And we brought in Dante Fowler for nothing because nobody's talking about Dante Fowler. And this happens every year. The Cowboys cycle out guys that get overpaid and next year will be cut, after a year into their deal and could come back because that happens sometimes. And then replace them with guys who've just recently been cut for whatever reason, who are very talented players for, just basement level dollars.
Do you think that these players get overpaid when they leave?
Fuck yes, they get overpaid. That's why we let them go.
Because of the notoriety of the Cowboys? Like, they
Yes.
go on there, they get famous, people get to know them, and then maybe part of that is ticket sales?
They flash.
Like, let's trade them out and get some ticket sales?
They're good players. They are good players. They have, and the Cowboys are really good at, especially on offense. They're really good at showcasing players who don't play every down, and so like a lot of the film that's available for guys like Cedric Wilson is him making really good plays. It's like, oh, this guy is a really good receiver. What if we gave him 115 targets? And it's like, you'll find out why he's not worth 115 targets next year. We don't know exactly what that is yet. And I mean, me as a Cowboys fan, I would have, if we'd gotten him at a discount, I would have been excited to see what he could have done with 70 plus targets that he was going to get being behind, with a Cooper gone. But that being said, no, we don't. That's not what we do. They're actually there's a Cowboys page that I follow. That it was breaking news: Cowboys signing no one. Because this is every year. This is what we don't sign free agents. We just don't ever. People give the Cowboys a bunch of crap for overpaying their guys. And that happens sometimes, but a lot of
a bit of a track record.
but a lot of times, who?
Zeke comes to mind.
Zeke's overpaid.
Sorry, you caught me eating popcorn. But
I think he is a little bit.
But the year that he signed that contract, the very next year, all his numbers were down. He got hurt.
The whole team was down, though.
Okay, but
Dak missed 10 games.
He hasn't been close to the same running back since he signed the new contract. I mean, is that fair?
No.
Okay, his numbers in my eyeballs.
He also played. He also played so he played the first year of that contract without his quarterback for the majority of the season, and then in the second year he played the majority of the season with a torn meniscus.
And never at any point did he look like the game-breaking running back that he was paid to be.
Or PCL, I think maybe it was torn PCL, something like
that.
But
I'm saying he
had a torn ligament in his knee. You wouldn't look good. You wouldn't have looked good either.
But before that, again, granted his quarterback wasn't there, but he should have shown flashes. He should have shown something, and he didn't look. He was getting outperformed by his backup.
Yeah, people say that.
Because we saw that.
It's not true.
It's what we saw on the field. Now you're right. That might not be true. There might be all kinds of backstories to it. There could be all kinds of circumstances. I get that, and it very well could be.
A lot of that,
but that's not what was shown on the field last year.
Well, a lot of that is play selection and how they choose to use each of those running backs.
I completely agree with that. Like I said, I get the case you're making. I get that.
It's not like if you had,
but on the field.
Here's the thing. It's not you can't say on the field. What you're saying is in the box score, because you're seeing Tony Pollard's rush attempts, his rush yards, and his yards per carry, and then on the field, what you're seeing is dramatically different play selection from one running back to the next.
I agree with that.
You have Zeke ramming into a defensive wall, and the Cowboys just let go of 2/5 of their offensive line. Like I was saying, the biggest problem with the Cowboys last year was that fucking offensive line. That was it. Dak didn't have time, and Zeke didn't have any blocking hole. He didn't have any holes last year. And if Tony Pollard had been asked to do all of the things that Zeke had been asked to do, people would be asking for him to be cut.
Okay, and I can definitely see that. But let's say let me make an unfair comparison here, and look at Najee Harris. Najee ran behind a horrible line and a horrible offense,
and put up horrible numbers.
Okay, I would just put up okay numbers, but you watch those games and you're like, oh, this guy's going to be good. And there's always one or two runs each game. Even if he gets stuffed most of the game, there's always a couple of runs where like, yeah, he's going to be fucking great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I'm excited about Najee. Are you excited about Zeke?
Well, I mean, he's been playing for 6 years, so like that would be really like silly for me to be like, oh yeah, we're going into year 7. This is going to be the best year ever for Zeke.
How much is he getting paid in year 7?
But am I excited to have Zeke on my team? Yes.
How much is he getting paid in year 7?
Like probably somewhere between 15 and 18,
which is a lot for a running back.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my only point.
But here's the thing: who was the last running back to hit free agency and break the bank?
Le'Veon Bell. That sucker.
I don't know,
but he did, right?
He
broke
the Jets.
Like he signed a big deal with the Jets, right? But he was the last one. Mm-hmm. So it just doesn't happen. So like saying that your running back is overpaid. It's hard to say like what he would actually go for if he had hit the open market at 25. 2 years ago, if he had been free 2 years ago, like he'd have commanded that money from anybody.
So do you see a different burst from Zeke now than 3 years ago?
Sure.
It's
not burst. He's so what it is he's more selective. And he's
decisions.
He's less willing to just take on a bunch of tacklers. So the thing that was special about Zeke, there are two things. One, he doesn't have anymore, and that was the top end speed. Like his ability to just like if he hit a hole, he's was gone. He was just gone. He doesn't seem to have that anymore. And the reason I say that is because there's time the biggest critique I'd have of him is that there are times where it seems like he doesn't have faith in his speed the way that he did 4 years ago. But it's entirely possible that he's also just gotten used to blocking breaking down in particular ways. That's entirely possible too. Because the first 3 years of his career, he had Frederick, Martin, and Tyron Smith at their all-pro levels. So it's really not fair. Like there's a lot of different things going on in circumstantially for him.
And just to put a pin in it.
And I said this last year when he was hurt. The reason that they didn't shut him down last year is because they felt that they could with him pass blocking and felt that he could still get things done short yardage wise, which didn't work out, and with their ability to use Tony Pollard in the sprinting plays, which is what that turned out to be. Mm-hmm. They felt like they could still use him, but he probably should have had surgery and missed the last half of last year.
So just to put a pin in it and move on, where would you take Zeke right now? Like, where do you think he goes, and where is he on your draft board, and where do you think he's going to go?
He's going to go in the second round. I'll be happy to have him.
And are you going to wait till the second round, or are you going to jump him out? End of the first, beginning of second. Are you going to be a little higher, or are you going to be with the rest of the crowd?
This year, okay, we're talking. Let's talk about like Zeke, targeting Zeke. Okay, I think he's an excellent pick if you're somebody who's picking, like excellent second pick if you're anybody who's picking 9 to 12.
Okay.
So he's going to be. So I still think he's top 15
overall.
Yeah.
Okay. He's probably top 20, 25 for me, but I don't think that's that big a difference. Ray, got any
Second
opinions on
round.
the? Yeah, definitely
And
second round.
And then as far as our league runs differently. So we don't do snake drafting. We do budget drafting.
I prefer that too.
I do too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So last year, I paid, I want to say 60. I think I paid 60 for Zeke. This year, I could probably get him for 35.
I think you can get them for 20.
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm gonna run him up above 20.
Oh yeah,
Kidding
I mean,
me?
if you're
It's
gonna
an
get
auction
that,
league,
yeah,
brother.
you run 'em up.
Come on.
He won't go up on the block fast enough for you to be able to do that.
You don't think so?
No, because I'm going to put your guys up.
I'll put your guys up.
You don't even know who my guys are.
I'm gonna put kickers up.
I'm not a homer like you guys.
Put kickers up.
I don't think I had a single Steeler.
You know, all I got to do is put Terry McLaurin up, and you're done.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got Carson Wentz now, dude.
Wentz?
I don't know.
Carson Wentz
I don't
now.
know if I went
That's an
all
improvement.
homer on my team. I know I
You got
got
Stafford.
Stafford,
Cup.
and then I know I had the Rams defense as well, the Patriots defense.
Yeah, he homed it up, dude.
That's a little homer.
You homed it
Three,
up.
three is considered homer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
That's a lot.
honestly more than one is probably homer. Maybe two you can get away with.
Well,
three is
two
definitely
sometimes. Well, two. That's a legit
And
strategy,
really
though, right?
two if you have
quarterback
a
and
quarterback
receiver.
yes,
Yeah, you're right.
stacking.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Which
That's
is
why
what
I
I
said
did.
I was going to
Yeah.
say two is fine, but the third one is really where it puts you a little over the top.
But the defense was fine though. The Rams defense was
No,
actually
know.
pretty
they-
well, it's supposed to be one of the best, and then it turned
They
out
did
to be
okay.
fine.
They did okay.
They turned
for
out
They
to
were
be fine.
okay. Yeah, they
they're
were
top
okay.
10.
They were nowhere near as good as the Cowboys last year.
They didn't live up to the billing at the beginning of the year last year.
No.
Like they were going to be amazing, and then they were good.
Yeah.
But
Good
it's
enough.
fantasy football, so it's not like it's very. The Patriots and the Steelers are typically the only teams that like you think of as a great defense and it also translates to fantasy points. They traditionally score a lot of points with their defense and special teams,
I have had a lot of those two defenses the last 10 years. I will say.
and it's working out.
Yep.
Unless you're having the Steelers like the last 2 years.
No, even then, fantasy wise,
It was year before last.
We
it was
put up the
okay.
sacks, man. Even this year, we put up the sacks.
Watt did have a lot of sacks.
A
Did he break
lot
the
of
record?
sacks.
Tied the record.
tied
He
the
tied
record,
the
yeah.
he tied the record. But to me,
17
I'm gonna give him the record because the last one for Strahan doesn't count. I'll never. It's embedded.
TJ
You know what
got
I'm
an
talking
extra-
about, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's
He's
embedded in
Favre
my
laid down,
memory.
yeah.
Favre rolling right
I
into him
know.
and sliding.
And then congratulating him.
Yeah,
I know.
Come on, man.
I
Come
know.
on.
That was bad.
Yes, bad. You ruined sports, Strahan. That was the moment that ruined sports. Nobody cared anymore. It was all about just like congratulating the other guy as he broke some fucking record that was actually earned by somebody.
But like this year and next year, like so many records are going to be broken because of 17 games now instead of 16. And it's
It's
just,
all-
I
and
hate that part.
It's like yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
we all have to adjust now.
Can we? You know what needs to happen is they need to go back to all the old time players, their statistics, and augment them. Project them out for 17 games.
Give them some inflation.
Yeah, project them out for 17 games, dude. Because like some of those Van Brocklin seasons from the 50s, they should be in there for all time seasons. They should be. They would be if he had played fucking even 14 games.
Yeah.
But they played like 12 or 10.
Now that we've changed the standard, we do need to have a different standard. You're right.
Yeah, it should. Rather than just going over, like, honestly, really, rather than just going like overall statistics anymore, cumulative statistics, it should just be averages.
Yeah.
You just weight players by their averages per game.
I'm sure that'll be something that comes out for sure.
Because I imagine like if we did that, some of the players from back in the day would pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still there's a record for consecutive 100-yard receiving games. I think it's like eight games or something like that. And it was by two Browns players in the 1960 season. Isn't that incredible?
That is incredible.
Yeah. So like stuff like that would pop up more if we weren't so focused on, he threw 6,000 yards this year. Yeah, I get that, but it's actually more impressive that guy threw for 4,000 yards that one time in that 12-game season.
Right. Yeah, I'll agree with that. All right, so what have we not talked about? Like, there's all kinds of free agency moves. Man.
So last thing, as with my Cowboy hat on as a fan, is that I'm so excited that the Redskins totally fucked up everything.
You said Redskins.
Oh, excuse me. They did. They went to the Commanders. Sorry, I dead named them again. And you know what? I bought a Redskins hat.
Said dead name.
I like that.
Anyway, the Commanders messed everything up.
Who did they get as their quarterback again?
Carson Wentz.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Wentz.
They got. So
I might have to take the Cowboys off
friends,
my picks and put the Redskins.
If you were
up
listening
there.
to us last time,
Commanders.
I said I took my Cowboy fan hat off and said that I thought it would be a very wise decision. 2 wise decisions the Redskins, the Commanders can make, the Deadskins can make, is they could get Jameis Winston and they could re-sign their all-pro guard Brandon Scherf to an actual deal.
To an actual what?
Actual deal okay. Because they franchise tagged him.
I gotcha.
Last year. And they were going to do it again this year. They're going to try and do it again this year. Since then, they have traded for Carson Wentz and allowed the Jacksonville Jaguars to sign Brandon Scherf. Yes. So happy. It is another year of the Cowboys dominating the NFC East coming up.
Did they do anything else? Did they do anything of note? Because, I mean, the Wentz is a joke at this point. I agree. But he's still an upgrade to what they had last year.
That's questionable.
Is it?
That's questionable.
No, I don't think that's
I would definitely like be willing to bet you like Kyle Allen versus fucking Carson Wentz.
Kyle
Allen was one of the guys that started last year when Fitzpatrick went down. It was Kyle Allen and another guy who looks exactly like Kyle Allen, but his name's not Kyle Allen.
Dude, I'm trying to think of his name.
I know.
Can't remember his name.
I know, but they looked exactly the same. They'd like that. It was the same height, body type. It was hilarious.
Can't think of the sucker's name. That's how good he was. Like, come on, man. Like, Wentz is an improvement over that. You have to admit that.
I won't. I don't have to do that. I don't.
All right, we need to figure out a way to bet on it. I'll
tell you what. I don't have to do that because anytime I think of Carson Wentz now, I'm reminded of the fact that after that Cardinals game last season, it was like a Saturday night game, Colts versus Cardinals. Jonathan Taylor got put on the COVID list like the day before. They had like half of their offensive line wasn't able to play in the game. They had like 8 players missing in the game. And Carson Wentz balled out. And I was like, you know what? Like, if he can play like that, the Colts have a real shot, like a real to make a deep playoff run.
Right.
And then they missed the playoffs by losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of those all timers. That's one of those. Like, oh my God, what the F happened?
I got onto the Carson Wentz bandwagon.
That's why you're so stung now.
And yes,
I was never on the bandwagon. Maybe that's why I feel optimistic.
As when he was an Eagle, I was worried by the things that I saw from him. I was like, man, they might actually have one, you know? Mm-hmm. And there's something wrong with him because he flashes these things. He obviously has, talent. He has the ability. But for whatever reason, he's inconsistent. He
reminds me of one of those golfers that's just great, and then all of a sudden they just can't putt. or you know what I mean?
Can't shoot free throws. All of us gets the yips.
Yes, get the yips. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Yes.
Like he plays great, and then what the fuck was that?
Yes, that's exactly that's exactly what it is. Thank you. I could not agree more.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. That's what Washington's going to get.
Right.
Like next year,
I agree with that.
There's gonna be a game where nobody picks them to win, and Carson Wentz is gonna do something spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna go fucking 5-12. They've also lost pieces. They lost Brandon Scherf. They've lost pieces on their defense too. They let one of their defensive linemen go. His name escapes me right now. It might have been Payne. But they let somebody go. And they're not, and to me, they're not a team that's in a position to be letting guys like that go.
Right.
So I'm perpetually confused as to where the Washington franchise is.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. Like, where are they going? What are they trying to do? And you don't see a direction right now.
No, they are perpetually in no man's land. Yeah, it's great. And as a Cowboys fan, it's great.
It's the only way you can win the division, right?
Well, I mean, okay, you say that, but the Eagles and Giants have 3 Super Bowls combined in the last 10 years.
I say that because look at the last 2 or 3 years of that division and just what's
that
happening.
happens every year, though. Even when the Giants won the Super Bowl, they were 9-7 in one of the years, and then they were 10-6 in the other year, maybe 11-5. But
sorry, that once I want to return to a point from a couple weeks ago, and that's that getting to the dance, getting to the playoffs is a big freaking deal.
And being hot, getting hot,
I mean?
and healthy.
It almost doesn't matter what your record is. If you are hot and you are healthy,
every year,
playoffs,
every single year, at some point, it plays in my head. Bill Parcells, telling the media that the season starts after Thanksgiving. The season doesn't start until after Thanksgiving. And so, and what you really want to look at is the teams that are getting healthy towards the end of the year, or either getting healthy or are healthy at the end of the year and playing well. Yeah. Putting wins together, playing it all well in all phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. And then that's what's important. That's much more important now than going 14-2 or 14-3 and getting the bye. Yeah, it's much more important to be hot than it is to just
and I think that's
have a good regular season.
Proven year after year. I agree, and there's just so many teams that have made it in with the 9 and 10 win seasons and then won the Super Bowl. A
lot of them, yeah. I mean, when the Bucs won, they won from the wild card position.
Steelers won from the wild card position.
Yes, they did.
But anyway, Obi-Wan Kenobi. When's that come out?
73 days is what I saw.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think 70-something days, 75 days maybe.
Sorry, Ray's clicking around here, and he caught my attention. Was like, what? Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I was looking for something.
I forgot that was going to be a thing.
Yes. So what's next? What are we talking about next?
Well, I mean, there's
we talk about
lots.
Free agency. We talk about trades.
Well, what's something significant that changes the landscape that you can think of? I mean, we've talked about a lot of them, but I'm sure we're missing at least a couple.
Man, the AFC West is going to be crazy next year. It's just going to be so much fun to watch.
Remind me who the AFC West teams are.
The AFC West is the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders.
That's going to be an exciting. That's going to be an exciting one to watch.
So, it's kind of gotten put on the back burner now, but the Chargers made moves too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I heard. Oh God, what did they do? They did a couple of things that I was like, oh shit.
They brought in who'd they bring in to play with Joey Bosa? They brought in somebody to play with Joey Bosa that was really impressive.
Somebody big.
They Khalil Mack.
Oh, yeah. Dude, yeah. Former defensive player of the fucking year.
Twice, I think.
I think so. If not, it should have been.
I think it's twice.
I can't believe the Bears got rid of him already.
I know, and
after everything that they did, and then
what they paid for him versus what they got back, in terms of, because he's 31, I think, and they're trading, and it's like they're selling low on him is what I felt like happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the Chargers bought low on Khalil Mack.
I think so too.
I thought that was excellent. I think it's because of what's happening with
Scary.
Russ and with Davante Adams, it's going to be a move that people kind of forget about. And if I remember correctly, that wasn't the only move they made on defense too. There was another move, like they picked up a cornerback or something like that.
Sounds right.
So that division is going to be fun to watch,
Dude. Like how do they not all make the playoffs? What the hell?
Exactly. One of them's not.
Yeah.
They can't all make the playoffs. Oh man, and Justin Herbert hasn't made the playoffs yet. So he needs to go.
Yeah.
Like Russ has to prove
They
himself
better.
in Denver.
I mean, if they don't start getting
Derek
to the playoffs
Carr just
on
got his
rookie
guy
contract?
in Vegas. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes has been to 4 straight AFC Championship games. Like, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because like no matter who it is that ends up going 6-11, 7-10, whatever it is, to finish last in the division, is going to have a very, very, very disappointed fan base.
I think the last place team goes 9-8.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
It
You
never-
don't.
it
You
never
think
happens that way.
somebody's going to fall apart?
It never happens that way. Yeah.
That makes sense. Somebody will, but
I hope it's the
looking
Chiefs.
at it now, you're just like,
I hope
no
it's
way.
the Chiefs.
And injuries are always there. Mahomes gets hurt, and the whole
just Mahomes turning more into Brett Favre.
the end of that playoff game. I will admit that's what he looked like. I tell you what, man. The second half of that playoff game, I was just like, what happened?
He looked like Brett Favre playing a playoff game in Dallas. That's what he looked like.
Obviously, you have good memories about that. I don't remember that one.
He lost 3 consecutive playoff games in Dallas. And then he got bailed out by the Panthers beating the Cowboys in '96.
Only way he could move on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have beat the Cowboys that year either. Brett Favre didn't know how to do it. Aaron Rodgers knows how to do it. Brett Favre couldn't do it, though.
What about you, Ray?
Panthers beating the Cowboys in '96.
Playoffs.
Yeah, that was just.
Michael Irvin got hurt on the first drive.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
What about me? What?
Just any moves or anything that really caught
Well,
your
I
eye?
brought up the quarterback stuff right earlier today about the crazy stuff. I felt like
contributed to the show.
what? There's a lot of background stuff that goes on. I actually sometimes I'm just kind of glad that I can just produce sometimes because sometimes when I'm running solo, it's hard to do all that at once.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like to keep the talking going and doing all the clicking and stuff in the background. The Aaron Rodgers thing, I know I'm circling back to that was of the couple weeks. He fooled me. I kind of thought he really did want to try to win, and turns out no, he just wants to get paid, you know. So that was one of them that kind of just. I was like, whoa.
That surprised me too. I'll admit.
You fooled me, man. You made it sound like you wanted some talent around you, and you did. He made that comment I don't want to be in rebuild mode, and so that all led to me thinking he wants to win, not he wants to get paid. So that one was kind of out there. I was kind of happy to see Russell Wilson go. It was one thing I didn't have to worry about. Russell Wilson always gets me nervous, even though we seem to be able to beat the Seahawks since McVay came into town. I'm curious what's going to happen with San Francisco. I'm not sure because the Garoppolo thing is still up in the air. I think, right? I haven't heard anything on that.
They're still planning on trading him, but we don't know
still
where he's
currently
go.
on the roster.
Yeah, are we? Are they trading him for high dollar?
You know what's the most interesting?
Top tier quarterback or
the most interesting thing going on with quarterbacks currently that is bubbling is that the Atlanta Falcons pushed back the due date of Matt Ryan's roster bonus. because they were in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes.
Right, and they wanted to be able to trade Ryan easier by giving him a lower cap this year, right?
It might have had to do with the other team picking up the salary cap. The hit. I'm not.
I think Ryan is like a $48 million hit this year.
No,
You know,
I swear, dude, look it up, and they're trying to get him down to 32.
No.
They kept backloading him. They kept redoing his contract.
Yep.
And backloading it,
kicking things down the can,
kicking it down the road, kicking it down the road,
kicking that can down the road.
Now it's here, and now they're looking at $48 million.
That's what the Packers. That's what happened with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So
it's funny.
It is funny. I think the Falcons are going to be a joke for a couple of years, but
I think Matt Ryan's ready to get released. He's a nobody
he wants his
now.
$48 million.
Right. But what I mean is
so they still have no wide receivers on their roster. Mm-mm. The Falcons have no wide receivers on.
Yeah, Gage, Julio Jones.
It says here, if I'm reading this right, it says that he's a $48,662,500 cap hit for this year. $48,662,500 cap hit.
Yep. Crazy.
And then they have a dead cap of $40,525,000.
So they're just screwed.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
There's nothing they can do.
They just got to eat it this year.
That's it. They just got to eat it.
I mean, they're in a good spot to do that because they don't have anybody else to pay.
They're not in a good spot at anything. They're in a good spot to get the number 1 draft pick next year. That's about.
I disagree with that.
No, I can't see them winning games next year.
Okay.
How do they win more than 4 games?
We're gonna find out when they draft players.
That's true. Well, then rookies. Nah, it's still. I can't
I would love it if the
I
Rams
would bet
just
5 games right now.
gave away all their draft picks for this year. Just said fuck it, you can have that one. You can have that. pay for part of this contract. You can have a draft.
Oh my god. They don't get
just go all in on it.
They don't get help with the cap that way though.
Just go in all. I just think it's fine. We got 5 picks or something. What do we got? 5 picks or something? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't looked at the Cowboys picks for the draft yet.
Let's find
the draft's
out.
still 6
How many
weeks away.
picks do the Cowboys have?
Feels like a long way away still, huh?
It's next month, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we have all
this
the
month's
excitement.
already halfway over.
Dude, how the hell did that happen?
I don't know. Cowboys have 2 comp picks in 2022, Jeff. What does that mean?
It's because of the players that they lost.
Oh, you guys got a lot of picks here. Oh, no, wait. No, that's everybody. Round 3. Nope, I don't know how to read this. That would have been a straightforward search, but 11 picks. No, that's the 2021 NFL draft. Never mind on that. Nine? Draft all 9 official selections.
For who? Oh, for us.
Cowboys. All 9 selections that the team has are now official.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. There you go. A first, a second, a third, a fourth, 4 fifths, and a sixth.
4 fifths?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
4 fifths and a sixth. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 or 2 of those got to hit.
Oh my gosh, the way you just gonna talk about it like that. But you
No,
guys
that's
got
it's
24th
pick. That's what you're hoping for.
Your first round is 24th overall.
Because every year, a couple of 5th round picks are going to hit.
Yeah,
Just across the NFL.
Yeah, I was saying
So
that
to
in a
have
good way,
4
man.
of them,
4 5th-round picks. That's,
Good.
I mean,
to have
yeah.
4 picks in any round, the 5th round's probably the last round that you'd be excited about that.
Right.
But it'd have been super exciting if that was the 3rd round. And we've done that before.
The Rams have a 3rd round pick.
They start in the 3rd round.
Rams have 3rd round pick, 4th round pick.
In the same year, I think the Cowboys drafted Cheeto Awuzie, Jordan Lewis, I know those were both 3rd round picks. I can't remember all of them, but I know that one year they had 3 or 4 3rd-round picks.
Since you're doing it, show me what the Steelers picks look like.
I'll get right there.
Oh, okay,
so round 3 is when the Rams start. They have round 4, round 5, 3 6s, and 2 7s. So that's where the Rams sit. So let's go see what the Steelers look like.
Evil 3 6s.
This is 7. That doesn't seem right, huh?
Well, there's 7 rounds.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
But no, that doesn't seem right.
I don't like this one. Let's try a different website. How come we had like amazing first couple websites and then we asked for the Steelers and it's like nobody cares? Okay, here we go. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 2 7s.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 2 7s. So yeah,
no 5th rounders.
No
Dallas
fifth round
must have got one of our 5th rounders somehow.
pick. Hey, but you get that 1st round, 2nd round, and 3rd round pick, man.
Yep.
20, 52, and 84.
I like it. So, I mean,
Rebuild
anything
that
else
shit.
Football-wise that
Rebuild it.
I think we touched on all the
big ones?
the important things that I wanted to talk about.
I feel like we're still missing one, but I can't think what it is.
So, Chandler Jones to the Raiders. Before I said that I wouldn't be surprised if somebody overpaid for Von Miller, which is exactly what happened, and that I'd be happy to be the team who came in 2nd in the Von Miller sweepstakes and got Chandler Jones.
Right.
And the Raiders did, and they paid less than
A lot less, or I thought they still paid a pretty.
they
decent
still
amount.
paying $17 a year.
Okay, for a good pass rusher
instead of
that's
20.
Yeah.
But it's 3 years instead of 6. And he's 31 instead of 33.
And the Von Miller contract looks bigger than what it is. I mean, it's backloaded. It's you know
His,
what I mean?
Yeah, the first, if I remember correctly, the first 3 years are only worth like $70 million, something like that. Or no, not 70.
Actually, I think it was 60 something.
It might be less. Maybe
But
68.
yeah, it's something to where I was like, okay, that's more reasonable. You know what I mean? Because he's not going to last 6 years, and they're certainly not
I
going
don't
to pay
think
him
he'll
for
last
6.
3.
Yeah, like he's got 2 or 3. He's probably got 2 good years in him, and then he might play a 3rd.
Maybe he didn't play great this last year. He played great in the postseason. And I wouldn't even know if he, like I said, I don't even know. I said this before. I don't even know if he played great in the postseason or if he was just the guy that happened to be there, you know,
Be on the other side.
when the quarterback ran into him. Because the guys that were causing all the havoc were Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
Von Miller was the 3rd best
He was
defensive
mopping up.
lineman.
Yeah.
He just happened to come up on statistics. That's what I felt happened.
Ray, you think that's pretty true, or?
I think I know I'm going to go off topic here, but I think it was I was just thinking that like how we didn't even really talk about Brady coming back out of retirement. It was just like such a non-thought. Other than Tampa Bay is going to be back in the playoffs, but other than that, it wasn't really like I don't think it hit hard around, the talking points like something like that kind of would. Like everybody kind of just figured he probably would come back, and it was like no surprise.
It surprised me more that he retired than when he unretired.
Yeah. So I just
surprised
found
how
that
he
funny.
came
Like we're over here, like,
Excited
okay,
about
what have we hit? We hit this, and it was like, kind of Tom Brady.
So why did he retire then? Was that a legitimate retirement? And then, oh man, I want to play football.
I think,
or was that a retirement? Ooh, maybe I can get some leverage and get a trade.
So,
don't
how
think
long
so.
was he retired for? 6 weeks?
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't that long.
If it was a chess move, I think he was
He
like.
announced his retirement really fast after the year.
I think he wanted to see people scramble. I think he wanted to see moves made, and if he legit was like, I'm going to throw this out here as a bluff. If that was the case, I think he wanted to see all the movements happen, just to jump back in and be like,
honestly,
suckers.
You know what? To me, it has to be like I brought this up before when I outlined the PFFs 7 through 10. Top free agent quarterbacks were headlined by guys like Jacoby Brissett, Geno Smith, and Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
That if you're Tom Brady and you see that there are like a handful of quarterback jobs, and the guys that are getting all the money to go get them are like Mitchell Trubisky. You're like, you know what?
Raking down his 14.
How do I quit? Like, how do I quit? I'm on my worst day. On my worst day, I'm better than Mitchell Trubisky. How do I quit?
I think it's
We're paying Mitch less than the pass rushers, man, that we were just talking about.
He didn't mention at all the drama between Dak Prescott and
What
that
was
receiver
Brady's
he
left?
left, right? What they
Cooper?
call him? What they call him? The
Black Kirk Amari
Cousins,
Cooper.
like, yeah.
Amari. This is a rumor.
Oh, is that why you didn't talk about it? 'Cause it's a rumor.
It's a rumor that Amari Cooper called Dak Prescott the Black Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah. Which I think is kind of hilarious.
It is kind of hilarious.
Kirk Cousins, legit, dude, legit at making that money.
Yeah, dude. Like any quarterback that has made just like more money than he should have
It's
over the last
so
10
funny.
years, like it's Kirk
The most
Cousins,
paid
man.
mediocre
so
quarterback
fucking
ever.
He was drafted in the same draft as Robert Griffin III.
Oh my god.
They got drafted together. Isn't that ridiculous?
That's hilarious.
Well, didn't he break a couple times? Like he got injured.
More than a couple times.
Dude, it was really the first one. He was never the same.
Yeah.
He was never the same. Like he got, it was the Ravens game, I think. There was just this horrific hit on his knee, and then they didn't shut him down. They fucking like brought him back and let him play in the playoff game. You remember that playoff game against Seattle?
No.
And he just like there were a couple of times where you just like like watching the game, you saw his fucking leg quit, like you could see it, like his leg just gave out and he fell down.
I remember him just falling apart at the end of one year, but
That was his rookie year.
Yeah, I know.
That was his rookie year.
I know.
Like, and so when I've talked about comparing Lamar Jackson to him. To me, Lamar Jackson just didn't get hurt. That's the difference between him and Robert Griffin III. And they even run the offense the same way. It's a fucking RPO offense.
Jackson's
like,
built differently.
He's not picking you apart. He's a one read guy.
Right.
Like,
no, I agree. They're very similar. Just Lamar Jackson is just bigger, stronger, and tougher.
he's not bigger.
He's not?
He's not bigger than
I think
Robert
Lamar
Griffin
Jackson's
III.
kind of lanky.
No, yeah.
Dude, I watch him in interviews and shit, and he's got, like, no neck.
Yeah,
like,
but
the
he's
dude is
also
just
5'11".
Okay.
Where Robert Griffin III was 6'2", I think. I'd have to look that up. And they're on the same team now. You know that.
I thought
He's
Griffin
the backup.
retired.
No,
they were last year.
he's the backup.
Who am I looking at?
I don't
Robert?
think anymore. I
I'm
thought he
pretty sure
retired.
he's the. I don't think so.
No. I know he's got all kinds of announcing
He's the
gigs
same
now.
age as Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, but he's announcing, like, on every network.
Robert Griffin III is 6'2". Who's the other guy we're talking about?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
And
Jackson.
I think Lamar Jackson might be listed at 6 foot.
But,
There's both 6'2".
Okay.
wow. Okay. But, see, like, look at a picture. Look at Lamar Jackson right there. And then can you go...
That does not look like
Dude.
a thick neck dude to me.
Okay, now go back to Robert. Like,
They're
Robert
the
looks
same.
like a tiny guy,
No, he
man.
doesn't. You're crazy,
Dude.
Anyway,
Have you seen him announcing on TV? Like, he looks tiny.
They seem like the same player to me. Like in my experience,
Okay,
in watching
okay.
both of them, they seem like
I would not
basically the
compare
same
those
player
two,
to
but
me.
okay.
You wouldn't compare Robert Griffin III and Lamar Jackson.
Maybe rookie year, but I mean, like, just
That's because he got his knee blown out.
again. Like, okay, they play.
If
similar,
Lamar
but their
Jackson had
body
blown out
styles-
his
their
knee-
body styles look very different. Like,
To me, they don't.
really?
Yeah. So I honestly thought Lamar Jackson was smaller.
Do you have the weights on there?
The only weight they give me is Lamar Jackson at 212 pounds.
212.
They don't give me.
And see, I thought that was generous. Like to me, he doesn't like 212. He doesn't seem like he's 200 pounds.
They didn't give me the other guy, Robert Griffin.
And Robert Griffin is like I legit 6'2", 215.
213 pounds.
Wow.
So they're
They
1 pound off from each
They
other.
are so different in my head. That's crazy.
Not to me. And that's funny. That's funny. I did not know that about their measurables, and to me they are the exact same player.
Like Lamar Jackson doesn't seem more powerful than Robert Griffin.
No.
Griffin seems like the agile like deer, whereas Jackson is just like plowing through people, man.
Nope.
No? That's always the impression I got.
That's not what I get.
Well, that narrative of not getting injured is actually a skill starting to pop up more and more. So
The best ability you can have is availability.
There's some coach speak for you.
I mean, it's true.
I agree.
The guys who don't get hurt and just keep getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better every year, a la Kirk Cousins. How's he doing financially?
I heard a stat about him that sounded pretty crazy. Let me see if there's anything pops up about him, Kirk Cousins.
He has made a lot of money.
Dude, I am very impressed with his money-making skills. I remember
You like that?
He got franchise tagged twice by the Redskins,
Yep.
and he's like, cool.
and then signed a $30 million a year deal with Minnesota when he has made more than Tom Brady in the last decade.
Right? Isn't that great? Dude, my hat is off to him, man. I'm impressed. Well done. Way to go, Kirk.
It's funny. There was another meme that I saw about it was quarterbacks being like, I don't understand how Tom Brady does it, and it was like Tom Brady takes headline Tom Brady takes pay cut so that the team so the team can sign X player, and then such and such quarterback just signs mega deal. I don't know what keeps happening. Why?
As of 2020, he has made $140 million in the NFL.
That sounds off. As of 2020?
As of 2020.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Oh, wow. That's 2 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. So he's about $200 million now?
Right. Exactly. That's nuts.
Yep.
Good for him.
That's nuts.
Good for him.
That's all you can say. Good for that guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
good for him.
Well,
He
according to
figured it
Ken,
out.
I mean, Minnesota's
He
going to go to the
figured it out.
deep into the playoffs next year, right?
I said they're going to go to the playoffs.
I don't know, man. They look like a team ready to...
They just got a new coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing?
So
A lot of times, yeah.
Well,
according
Yeah.
to...
Do you not remember when Matt Nagy took over the Bears and they went 12-4?
because Matt Nagy is so awesome.
Exactly. But he was that year.
So in 20...
And they made the playoffs.
They did. They had a shot.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
in 2022, he's got $30 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
He's got how much?
And in 2022, he's got $30 million fully guaranteed. In 2023, $40 million fully guaranteed, for a total of $230 million
I
in
saw
his career
something
total.
that he. I saw something that he's supposed to, like with his new deal. By this time next year, he's supposed to collect over $100 million.
30 and 40s. I just closed it out too, so
It,
I'm not sure what that additional.
I don't.
where that
I
additional
don't.
comes
I
from.
don't either. But it was a lot.
But there's always some weird
It
stuff.
was a lot
that-
of money. Yeah.
That's funny.
Good for that guy.
Well, guys, it's getting to be about 10:30 here.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
getting late for me. Is there anything we wanted to talk about, or was there a non-football related topic we wanted to throw out there before we close it off?
Still haven't gone golfing.
Dude, agreed. And we haven't been talking about it in the chat, and we need to, because we need to get on that.
Well, guy who is like supposed to be leading the golf expedition.
Well,
What's up
and
with that?
I was actually thinking more frisbee golf, because the frisbee golf was the three of us. So I thought that's what I was thinking.
That was kind of a sore subject, if I remember correctly. It had to do with
It had
vehicles. and such.
all it had to do was the car, and I'm not down to play if I can't take my own car. That hasn't changed.
No worries. But I don't know.
Whether
like
it's
I say,
frisbee golf, whatever.
I was actually planning on this
I didn't say
Sunday.
you couldn't take your own car. You just got to drive me if you do that.
I was planning on thinking about this Sunday, but all of a sudden I've got family plans. But let's like set a date or something.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like
sometime
this
before
Sunday,
May.
let's get together. Whether it's for regular golf, frisbee golf, just fucking bring all our kids out to the same park or something. Who cares?
Yeah, we'll take video too, so we can share it with these good people.
There you go.
You know, that listen to us for whatever reason they do.
Yeah. All right. I think or did we want? Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's stop.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Just keep in mind we were drinking What was it again?
Woodford Reserve.
Woodford Reserve. That was our drink of choice tonight, and we smoked it 3 times over.
We smoked the hell out of that bitch.
Yeah, we did. If you guys have any questions or
smoked it
anything
up.
you guys want to,
It's been smoked out.
if you guys
I
have
just
any,
had my second shot with the smoke, and I think I prefer it regular.
you might. You know, it's
I
not for
think I do.
everybody.
Yeah.
If you have any drink suggestions, leave them in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.
Bye bye.
It's good to get together again. It felt like it was a while, huh? Because that was it was 2 weeks without, and then
Yeah, because we've just been sporadic over the last like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
and that's
Just
gonna
went
happen.
live right now.
Everyone's got. I mean, you've had to cancel a few times for making trips, and
Yeah.
I've got family things going on. And Ray always, Ray's got a big old family too. So
We talked about all the things that I wrote down. We didn't really talk too much about Juju, but
I did want to talk a little bit more about Juju, just to get your opinion on it. But
I think it's great.
I think it's gonna be good.
Like I
Just
I
went
think
live
so,
right
too.
now.
Like, it,
24.
it honestly, like it shoots a little hole in my Patrick Mahomes becoming Brett Favre 2.0
Yeah.
theory, because the Packers didn't do that. They didn't help Brett Favre out. He just like that was the major difference was that Brett Favre